Imagine getting up every day full of energy as if you were in your 20s again. What would that be like? What would it be worth to you? What is your health worth to you? Think about it. Your health isn't everything, but without it, everything else is nothing. And yet, too many of us are taking it for granted until something goes wrong. And no one wakes up hoping to be diagnosed with a disease or chronic illness. And yet, we've never been taught how to be proactive in our health through our school or public health. As a registered health coach and integrative health practitioner, I believe it's time this information is made available to everyone. Combining new knowledge around your health and the ability to do my functional medicine lab tests in the comfort of your own home will allow you to optimize your health for today and all your tomorrows. Don't wait for your wake-up call. Welcome back to the Don't Wait for Your Wake-Up Call. I am your host, Melissa Deely, and super excited to be launching another theme this month. February is the month of love. And some say money makes the world go around, but I would love to see us get to a place where love makes the world go around, because as humans, our deepest emotional need is the need to feel love. So I want to ask you to just stop and close your eyes, unless of course you're driving, and think for a moment, what does the word love mean to you? And then think about, how does love feel to you? Think back to that first kiss, that feeling of floating, the pitter-patter of your heart, the melting of your insides, the bursting heart, the smile on your face, the warmth that spreads throughout your body. Or maybe it's not even a romantic kiss. Maybe it's that first kiss of your newborn, or the first time your newborn baby looks into your eyes and smiles at you with love in their eyes. We feel all those same chemical responses in the body, right? Regardless of what type of love it is. It's just maybe stronger in some forms than others, but the body is responding chemically. And love is one of the highest levels of emotions. And it comes with a lightness in our being, right? We feel light, airy, like almost like we're walking on air. And above love are in fact joy and then peace. Below love are many other emotions, which you will notice get heavier as we move down the list. And if we go right towards the bottom of the list, we're going to find emotions like anger, fear, grief, guilt, and shame is at the very bottom of that list. There are other emotions in between, but I really wanted to highlight these heavier emotions for you at the bottom of the list, knowing that you would understand that heaviness that comes with them, that feeling in your body of being weighed down, bogged down. We are all energy, and these emotions are energies too. And when we carry around heavy energies, it truly does weigh us down. We can feel like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders. But when we instead enjoy and live in a place of the lighter emotions of love and joy and peace, we feel lighter, as if we are walking on air. So how do we move from one end of that spectrum to the other? Well, that's life's journey, right? And all along the way, we get to make choices. And when we understand this, we can be making better choices, as we can put our decisions through the filter of these lighter emotions and ask ourselves questions such as, how would I respond if I were responding from a place of love rather than judgment, dislike, or disapproval? How can I approach this from a place of love? Even difficult situations can be approached with love. What does it mean to me right now to approach this from love, not fear or anger. And all of this takes practice, right? And it just starts with awareness that you can do this, that before you respond to a situation, you can stop and just do a little check-in and ask these questions of yourself. And sometimes it can feel really hard to approach situations from a place of love because those heavier emotions are getting in the way. The anger, the feelings of being unfairly treated, judged, or hurt, or because of past history of feeling unjustly treated by others in general. This happens in family relationships a lot. And perhaps you've experienced this when it comes to family holiday gatherings. You maybe are wary of attending because you don't want to see that someone who triggers you. And you know they will because they always say something that gets under your skin. And so that makes avoidance one easy option, right? And many people want to avoid those scenarios. Or you go, but you go with your backup, or you go and you don't really want to be there. And so we can start to turn that around. So there are a few steps that you can take here to help you stay in alignment with choosing love first. And that first one is forgiveness. Now, before you react and think, why should I forgive them? They hurt me. I didn't do anything. This is all their fault. I want you to be open to the fact that forgiveness is the key to liberation from being a victim. Let's say that again. Forgiveness is the key to liberation from being a victim. It doesn't make the other person right. It doesn't condone their behavior. What it does is it puts you back in control of your thoughts and feelings, and it frees you from the imprisonment of the pain. This is a choice that allows you to move forward. Very often we carry these painful experiences with us, and the only person it impacts is ourselves. The other person doesn't even realize that they've hurt us or that we are still harboring the pain. They've moved on with their lives, but we are stuck in this place carrying the pain, resentment, avoiding the person, and more. But when we forgive, we free ourselves from all of that to live our life from a place of love. The second idea is to don your love bra or love cape for attending events where you know there'll be somebody who triggers you. Excuse me. I love this one. The idea is that prior to going to a family event of some sort where you know you'll see someone who triggers you, you put on your imaginary bright red love bra or your bright red love cape. And this is super powerful as this bra or cape will protect you. You see, only love can enter your body through this protective layer. It repels all other emotions back out away from you. And only love can come out of your body via this love bra and cape. It definitely takes some practice. It is a bit of a mindset shift. But when you go to the event wearing your love bra or your cape with that conscious thought that I will only allow love in and I will only allow love out, it makes a huge difference in how you can show up at the event. So, as I said, it takes some practice, but it really does allow you to focus on what is important in the moment, which is love, and to shine that out to those around you, to not only accept love in, but allow the love out to all of those around you. I've had many clients don their love bras and capes before family weddings and, excuse me, head there bravely and report back that the event went so much more smoothly than expected. And they enjoyed it more than they thought they would as a result. I even had a client one time who told me that she used this over Zoom talking to her in-laws with her partner. And she had always found that her in-laws were so critical of her partner. And she was just kind of tired of it. And she thought, you know what? I'm going to wear my love bra to this Zoom meeting. And I'm only going to let love in and only let love go out towards them. And when they started being critical, she just focused on, I'm sending them love. I'm sending them love. I'm sending them love. And she said it was fascinating because his mom just kind of suddenly stopped mid-sentence in the middle of being critical and kind of shook her head a little bit and changed the subject to something a whole lot more positive. And she was just blown away that even over Zoom, with her focusing on, I'm sending them love, I'm sending them love, that somehow the mom picked up on that enough to stop the criticism, change the subject into something much more positive. So this is powerful. When we send love out into the world can receive it, and it can shift how people respond to you because you are sending them love. Avoidance of issues and avoiding people that trigger us just has us carrying around heavier emotions for longer, bogging down our physical being, draining our energy levels, and weakening our immune system too. All those squashed down emotions really do weaken our immune system. And so we have to instead allow our body to process them and release them. And that forgiveness piece is so important for anything that's been harbored before. And then for anything new, when we choose that place of love, we can mentally also allow for the emotions to be processed and released. Emotions moving through our body move through as a chemical reaction in less than 90 seconds. It's what we choose to do with those emotions that can get them stuck. So we can be focusing on it so much that the chemical reaction is long since ended, but we hold on to the memory and squash it down. Or we can release it and say, I'm going to choose to still show them love, even though this is how they made me feel. I'm going to forgive them for that. Maybe it's having a conversation with them around, this is how it made me feel. I'm sure you didn't mean it that way, so I must have misunderstood you. Maybe that's also a conversation that can be had, right? When we can address this from a place of love, or release people through forgiveness, or both, we can elevate ourselves to a higher energy level. And in doing so, we feel lighter, calmer, and happier in the process. And the more we practice this, the more people we draw into our circle that are functioning at that same high energy level, focusing on love, which expands our love circle. And it expands it exponentially and results in us living a happier, more joyful life. Love truly can make the world go around as we continue to expand our circle and the natural ripple effect that happens as a result. As Tony Robbins says, energy flows where attention goes. So when we focus on love, the energy of love expands and flows in our life. And then you get to feel those light, happy, warm, joyful feelings all the time. So now that you understand the energies of love, let's talk about the love languages, as these matter in how you relate and build relationships with those you love the most. So this is the work of Gary Chapman. For those of you watching on YouTube, I'm holding up his book here. It's called The 5 Love Languages. And the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, or quality time, or receiving gifts, or acts of service or physical touch. So we all have some of these within us. You might be thinking, I like words of affirmation, but I also like receiving gifts. Or maybe you're the person that says, I love physical touch and I like quality time, right? So you can definitely be more than one. You can have several of these types of love languages within you, but you generally have one primary language. And understanding your own primary language and that of your partner is very helpful, because your partner's love language might be completely different to yours. And if you're showing your love for them based on your own love language, it may not be as meaningful to them. For instance, if you love receiving gifts, but they want words of affirmation and you're buying them gifts, that's not speaking to them in their love language, right? And so understanding this is really, really important. Someone else might be have acts of service as number one on their list, and yours is receiving gifts, and you're giving them gifts, but really they would just much rather help with laundry and the dishes, right? The acts of service. So this is really powerful information to have and to understand, because of course we all come from different backgrounds and our love languages are impacted by how we were raised as children. And it doesn't just relate to romantic partners either, but it does relate to your relationships with your kids, even friends, colleagues, etc. And so I'll put a link in the show notes so that you can go online and do the quiz from the book in order to determine the love languages of your whole family. So have fun discovering your love languages, donning your love bra or your love cape, and finding every opportunity to lead with your heart and come from a place of love, lightness, happiness, and joy. On my next show, I'm interviewing a relationship expert as we dive into romantic love. So until next time, I'm sending you love, and thank you very much for listening. So just before we finish up today's show, I want to let you know about my next group program, my Health Kickstart and Detox. The best way to start diving into your health, if this is what you're doing and my podcast is motivating you to get started, is to start looking at nutrition, the right way to eat for your body, and understanding that, as well as digestion, because you are what you absorb and not just what you eat. And so I teach how to ensure your digestive system is even turned on so that you can benefit from the food that you're putting into your body, as well as sugar. Where is it sneaking into your diet, even when you're trying to be careful? Unfortunately, it's in everything these days, and so it does tend to sneak in. So I combine all of this learning in a group program for support for you, along with setting you up for success on your detox program, providing recipes and meal plans, etc., so that you can truly enjoy the benefits of getting those toxins out. I've never had someone get to the end of my program and go, gee, I wish I didn't do that. Instead, I get to hear all of their amazing success stories, like, wow, I have such mental clarity now. My aches and pains are gone. I'm sleeping better. My bloating and gas and indigestion is gone. So I love hearing that. It motivates me to keep sharing with others, because I truly do believe when we get the toxins out, when we create a body that is inhospitable to disease and we make it a lifestyle, that we can get rid of the chronic illness that we have in our world today. So click the show notes to learn more about the program. The link is there. And if you have any questions, book a call with me so we can chat and figure out, is this the right program for you? I look forward to hearing from you.